Okayity, welcome back to my channel, Made Between the Pages. My name is Taylor, and today we're going to be doing an update for Page Doing, which is an interview series that I co-host. First of all, I'm going to have to ask you guys to ignore how I look, the dark circles, sleep, who is she, we don't know her, but we have time to record right now, and so I'm going to take advantage of that real quick. But let's start by answering the question first and foremost, what is Page Doing? It's an interview series that I co-host where we spotlight people from all over the bookish community. So authors, be them indie, self-pub, or trad published. We also have had agents on. We talk to content creators like myself, bloggers, just kind of everyone from all over the bookish space. It's something that I absolutely adore doing, and I am so thankful to both Steve, who initially began this with his Page Doing forum. He's the one who kind of started this whole thing. Then he brought PL on as a co-host, and then both of them brought me on after. So I am so thankful that the two of them saw fit to add me to the team because it has brought so much joy and just, God, I love doing it. It's a big part of my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. When I say that there's an update or there's been a shift with Page Doing, I'm not referring to the content that we're going to keep providing. I'm just referring to kind of the structure in which we're providing it. So as I mentioned earlier, Steve is the one who started this whole thing. He has a forum called Page Doing, and he decided that he wanted to start doing author interviews kind of with the same name or connected to that forum. And like I said, then he brought PL on board and then myself. And a couple months ago, Steve decided to take a hiatus from social media. PL and I are not privy to the details. All I know is that some of his personal affairs were kind of aired over the internet, and he decided that rather than engage with that, he was going to step back and take a hiatus, specifically from YouTube and Twitter or X and a couple other social media platforms. He's asked that everyone, including myself and PL, respect his privacy in this matter, and we plan to continue to do so. So the only reason that I bring this up is to state the fact that Steve has decided to take a hiatus from this particular platform. And he handed over this particular platform of Page Doing to PL and I to manage for the foreseeable future. Now, as I mentioned, we are very passionate about what we do and the people that we get to talk to. So we sat for a long time about kind of how we wanted to revamp or work with this space. And what we've decided to do, at least temporarily, is brand this particular branch of Page Doing as Page Doing YouTube. Now, that name very well may change in the future, especially if we choose to leave this platform, because then it makes no sense to have YouTube associated with it. But just to make it a little bit easier to understand exactly what we're talking about, since there's so many facets of the Page Doing umbrella title, we've decided to call what PL and I are currently doing Page Doing YouTube. And then within that, we have two different series, one of those being title series and the other being the chapter series. So title series is what you kind of know Page Doing to be. It's a very one-on-one interview, usually with an author, where we sit down and really dig into that author's works and their writing craft and how they do what they do. The most recent example of that would be our interview with P. Jelly Clark, which was just a delightful interview. So many amazing insights from that award-winning author. He's just a delightful person, and I highly recommend that you go check that out because I had a fantastic time talking to him. I know PL did as well. And we're just so thankful that he gave us his time, especially an author of that caliber. So please go check that out. But that is an example of one of our title series. And then the chapter series is more group-based and kind of more of a casual feeling interview. The most recent example of the chapter series would be our interview with the collaborators for the Anatomy of Fear anthology, which I just got my ebook version of that, and I am so excited to get to it. I cannot wait. It's an extremely high caliber group of 12 authors who all chose a body part as a prompt and then wrote a short story within the kind of horror fantasy genre and put it all together, in one collection. That's what an anthology is, Taylor. Good God. I promise I'm more articulate than this in the interviews that I do. But yeah, that would be the most recent interview that we have in the chapter series. Please also go check that one out. I'll have both of those linked down below, both the P. Jelly Clark and the Anatomy of Fear interviews. wonderful authors all around, extremely talented, and they all have great work out in the world that you can access like right now. So going forward, at least for the foreseeable future, the two main hosts over on this YouTube section of Page Chewing will be PL and I. Maybe you'll see Steve come back. That would be absolutely wonderful. And we'll make a big hullabaloo when that happens. But for now, we're just going to be holding down the fort. And that is the new structure we're going to be working with. So title series and chapter series. You can look for about one of each series every month. We used to do way more than that, but life is just a little crazy, a little busy right now, and we really want to make sure that we're giving every guest the quality time and care that they deserve. So you can look for about one of each, I think, is the current pace that's working for us. If you can't tell, though, we are very passionate and excited about this work that we do, and we just can't wait to see where it goes in the future. I used to announce the page chewing for the month during my monthly TBRs, and that is something that I would like to get back to, because I would actually kind of like to get back to TBRs, or at least try a couple of them and see how they work. They haven't worked for me for a couple months just because, you know, giving birth is a lot. And I haven't really been able to get back on that kind of planning schedule bandwagon, but I would like to try it at first and see if that structure is still working for me. And if it does, you can look forward to the page chewing updates for that month in that video. If not, I'm going to think of a different release schedule, or maybe I'll just do a page chewing, schedule for the next month or so, and put that out on my channel separately. Either way, I'll make sure that I'm getting the word out. I always post on Twitter. I know that PL does the same thing. We're always retweeting and letting you guys know when things are coming up. You can also find me over on Blue Sky and on Threads. I post updates for all of our episodes over there as well. So if you want updates, that's kind of where to look besides my channel. But I would love to hear in the comments down below if there's another way that you would like me to tell you about these episodes, because they do really well. People really seem to be interested in them, and we get really good engagement. But they are long form content, and time zones are difficult. So, carving out time to listen to or engage, especially live, with that kind of long form content might take a little bit of, prior planning. And if you don't know that the episodes are coming up, how are you going to do that? So if there is another way that you'd like to hear about page chewing outside of a video that I'll commit to posting on here, and then like Blue Sky, Threads, Twitter, X, whatever it's called, kind of putting the reminders out there, I would love to hear that feedback down below. If you've watched any page chewing up until now, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite episode was, what you'd like to see more of. I really want to engage with the audience more on this platform with that particular series, because while it's something that, like I said, PL and I love doing, I don't think I engage with the audience, at least the audience on this kind of part of my channel, the non-live part of my channel. I don't engage with you guys about it enough. So yeah, I would love to start that conversation here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell. I'd love to have you as part of this community, and I appreciate it. But for now, I'm gonna head out. Jenny!